English Broken Businesses. We are all about Black excellence, bringing local entrepreneurs together to inspire and motivate you through business.
So it's simple. What you can do is to listen to this story and be inspired, and show to you guys nothing is impossible. If they can do it, so nathi singayenza bantwana basekhaya. Sit down and chill and listen to this wonderful story.
Follow your dreams.
One thing I can tell you, I love my life. I'm so grateful to my life. I thank God for my life because I'm a huge failure.
Wow.
But out of my failure, this is what came.
It's English Broken Business. Once again, iviki neviki, beke li beke. This month we are celebrating a phenomenal woman. And guys, it wouldn't be better having anyone that I know for years. It's been 10 years or over 10 years I've known the lady who's sitting right next to me, a lady who's into a beauty space. Yeah, she's into a business of beauty. When abantu babe bahle yabatitivator. Moretlo shapuzet. All right. Kemunati Moretlo. I haven't seen you in a long while, in a long time.
Very long time. 10 years is a very long time.
It's like very, very, very long. And yeah, since it is the month of women, I thought, which other successful Black women that I know we can interview? And you just happen to come to my mind. There's that lady, Moretlo, that, you know, we need to capture her story. Moretlo needs to tell our viewers, our subscribers, our followers, who are you and what do you do? So who is Moretlo, by the way?
Moretlo is the daughter of Mema Khotule and Date Khotule.
Okay.
I'm from Virginia, Free State.
Okay.
It's a very small town in Free State, Virginia. And I just grew up like any other child. And did I have any ambition or dreams? I'm not sure, because there was nothing inspiring us as much growing up.
Oh, okay.
You know, being in a Kasi, you just see your parents my parents were teachers.
Oh, okay.
You just see your parents being teachers and you get lost along the way. Be like, am I going to be like them? I don't really like it, but I will see what will happen.
Sure.
And then, fortunate enough, they managed to take us, all of us at school. Wow. Right through tertiary. We are a family of 4 siblings. Sure. And I'm the last born.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm a last one. Ekasalat lameki of my father. You know,
Sure.
Yeah, and being in Free State, as I said, there was nothing really inspiring. Throughout the years, I look up to my brother and my sisters. Who actually paved a path for me to have a little bit something to look forward for after I finished my matric, even though I didn't know what was that. Yes, I didn't know what I was going to do after my matric.
So wait, Moretlo, even when you were still doing your matric, you still didn't know what you wanted to become, what to do. Then you go into varsity.
I didn't. Actually, I decided after June of my matric that I'm going to do this, because I went to the library and I saw this book of careers and I paged through it and I saw beauty technology. Before it was called beauty technology, now they call it somatology. And I was like, oh, that's a beautiful name. Because my sister is a medical technician. My brother was a dental technician. I thought, why not beauty technology? And that's how. Not to say I knew nothing about beauty. I didn't know what I was gonna do.
But were you a fan, or were you someone that was really fascinated, who loved looking nice?
Not at all. Actually, I loved dancing. I thought I could do drama, but drama was not even an in thing in the 90s for Black people. It was starting. I think it was starting.
And they were actually exploited if you go do drama.
Exactly. And which I didn't even know about it. I didn't even know. I only got exposed to drama when I started at Natal Technicon through my friend's brother, who was doing drama at Natal Technicon. I was like, oh, this thing is a career. But it was too late already to apply because I was already doing beauty technology. Do you understand?
Okay.
So it was something that I wouldn't even think of going to school for.
Sure.
And then I was an athlete. I used to run, but also running wasn't my I never knew that you can be even a professional athlete or either of those things.
You can make a living out of
drama,
or
dancing,
running,
or running.
athlete, sure.
Hello, that was 1990 prior to 1994. Yeah, and the following year after I finished my matric, obviously after so much difficulties, it was very difficult. My life at school was very, very, extremely difficult.
You see, us Moretlo, our YouTube channel is called English Broken Business, and the people that are watching your story, it's people that they want to relate to your struggle.
Yes.
I know now you're looking all good. We are here in Cavendish, we are in Claremont, but I don't want our viewer to see it as an impossible dream, as something hard to achieve. I just want you to give our viewers and myself, obviously, a picture of how was it like, maybe let's say, how was a day at Virginia, early 90s, just your normal day at Virginia. If you're saying like you're struggling, like what struggles are you talking about?
Okay, the struggle I'm talking about is I felt a struggle after matric.
Oh, okay.
While you are with your peers and your friends around there, you don't feel the struggle, you're all doing the same thing.
Okay.
I go and see my friend.
Sure.
And she come and visit me. There wasn't really a struggle as much as you can say a struggle then.
Yeah.
Because obviously my family was, I would say, a well off.
Okay.
Because my father and my mother were teachers.
Sure.
The struggle that I can relate to them now as an adult was they had to take 4 children to school.
Oh.
But at least they had a permanent job.
Yeah,
Do you understand?
yeah, sure.
My struggle actually became even more visible, and I felt it harder after matric because remember, being at school, I always tell my client that being at township school, you never learn things in English. You learn most of the things.
Everything is done in isiZulu,
isiZulu,
kaXhosa.
exactly. And we translate, we give it a direct translation.
The mathematics, the history, the geography,
everything.
Physics, sure.
Yeah, you know. Wow. And then when you get to the real world, being a 19-year-old girl who just came out of Garcia Township, Free State, Virginia, then you are exposed to this huge building, different lifestyle. I went to Durban first, as I said, I was at
Natal Technical.
Yes, sure. Indian people, like you see colors, white people, and you be like, oh my word.
Different characters, huh?
Different characters.
Sure.
And you be like, what have I done? And I still remember that the most difficult thing ever when we were started to be introduced to the course, when we started our first day at Technicon.
Sure.
I remember our head of department was like, ladies, if you think that this is going to be just beauty, you've got something, what do you say it? You've got...
Like you've chosen a wrong career.
A wrong career.
Sure.
And actually she said, if you are not sure, you are just guessing you want to do this, I suggest that you
rather not do it.
Not do it because... And at that time I was sitting there and I'm thinking, my goodness, like if I leave
am
here,
I really sure about this?
But where am I going? Where am I going? And I remember this lady came and she was like, can we introduce ourselves?
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, even to introduce myself, to say I'm Moretlo from...
Because you are very raw from a car.
Yeah, I'm like, firstly, I cannot even introduce myself.
Jeez.
Do you understand?
Sure.
And then you'll be like, my goodness sake, the connection with these people, which is English.
Sure.
It's like already messy.
It's English broken business.
It's English broken business, and I'm like, whoa.
Sure.
Do you understand? Now you don't know where to hide yourself.
So the power of articulating now with those people, so you could not even articulate, communicate.
You couldn't even.
Jeez.
I couldn't even. And I just remember being like, maybe I was stuttering or what.
My goodness.
And my brain, thank God for my brain, decided to cut it off.
Sure.
You know, yeah. But also, as I'm sitting here and I relate to that, I can say to people, your struggle. If you can be in your struggle, to sit and dwell in your struggle and without learning anything, it's totally a waste. Wow. And unfortunately, we see things like this when we get out. But if you can have a wisdom to see your struggle as a stepping stone to the next level, you can actually conquer anything. But it's just that those years, we had no people who could actually who could actually advise us,
mentor,
encourage us, mentor us. We had, it was a guy, it was at, you were taught to study, to go to school, after school, go and study and work. No one will say, you know what is your ambition? What is your gift?
Sure.
Let me enhance your gift. Let me see. So everything, it was like learning, which it made it a little bit difficult, because if you have to come to me with a dancing, or you have to come to me with a drama or whatever, I'll be like, okay, just touch up the skills.
Sure.
But now you are taking me into something that I don't know completely.
Yeah.
So what happened? I had to learn, which is the most difficult thing ever. Do you understand? Even I can tell you today, like, I am so happy where I am and content, and I just thank God, honestly, because He's been there through thick and thin for me. When I look my life back, it's like, you know what, God, I thank you that I went through that. I thank you that I went through that. But when it was happening, it was the most difficult thing ever.
You could not understand when you are in the midst of those problems, and hardships and all that. But I always say that it is mostly in that discomforting space, that you really find yourself.
That you really find yourself.
Because there's also other kids, I believe, back in the day that you went to school with them, you did the same course, and maybe some along the way they quit. Some along the way they did open, and they did not have the consistency. Because for how long you've been here now?
I've been here since 1996.
Imagine.
Yeah, it has been long. And actually, you find that even in this career that I took, this path that I took, along the way, the struggle was so huge. It was like is it enormous?
My goodness.
It was a huge struggle, because
nothing came easy.
No, nothing came easy, Daddy. I had to learn. Now you are finished with school, that you struggle. I failed my first year of being a beauty therapist. I failed my first year of being editor. I had no choice, because if you give up, where are you going? So what pushed me, one girl yesterday was asking me at my house, what pushes you? Why? Why did you do it? I said, I think my why was to prove it to myself, I can do it for myself.
Yeah.
Because even to start a business, I was kind of like kicked into a business, because it was very intimidating. It was like me having a business. And I still remember one day I was talking to my mother. I'm like, hey, I've got this opportunity of having a business. I don't know what to call it, which is the most difficult thing ever, to call you to brand your business.
Yeah.
And I said to my mother, I think I'm going to call it Moretlo. My mother was like, no, don't call it Moretlo.
Okay.
I'm like, why? No. People won't come to you. I'm like, okay. You see, now you struggle with that again. So everything throughout my life, it was a struggle. Now I had to prove it to myself that, you know what, this is
people
what
can still come to me, even if I call the business Moretlo Beauty Specialist.
But who tells you that? No one is telling you. So all of this thing, I thank God Almighty that He gave me that wisdom to believe and trust in myself, And in the midst of struggle that I had, He could actually reveal the beauty about me. And I'm so glad that I was a failure. I'm so glad that life never went well. Because I don't think anything can break me now. So if you break me,
I mean, if nothing came to you in a silver spoon, you always take everything very serious. You always treasure whatever little that you have. You always value. You are always grateful. You know, because I believe this was not money that you got from lottery. This was not an inheritance. This is something that you had to work from the ground and going up. And
actually, even to start the business, I have to save my own money.
You're lying.
I have to save my own money. Remember, I can't.
So there was no funding in starting the business.
No, I was never ever helped by anyone to start my business.
No, Moretlo, remember now we've got Insta ladies, we've got girls that are twerking, we've got girls that are doing so many things, slay queens and all that. So when you were not doing those things, maybe...
I think for that, off camera you asked me about my parents. Did anyone in our family had a business background or whatever? My mother was someone who was saving a lot.
Wow.
My mother was so into business in her own way.
So
she will force me to save. Stock fair lemon.
At a young age?
At a young age. I remember I used to save 50 rand. And one day 50 rand went to 250. I thought, Mommy, I'm earning 1,200 rand.
Wow.
Yes. I started to do my budgeting when I was earning 3,500.
Sure.
After I pay my rent and this, I had to budget what is left.
Sure.
And out of that, I had to even save.
Yeah.
So throughout the saving, most of the things that I will do, I will pay them cash at the end of the year because the stockpile will pay you in December.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah.
So throughout that, you learn, oh, this is how much I can do.
Okay.
And you know what, this thing takes time. People, they think that this life is a instant porridge.
Yes, a microwave, yeah.
No. And I will tell you something to these young children, to these young people, to the beautiful young people.
Yes.
Things takes time for a reason. When things takes time, throughout that you learn. There is so much that you're learning into your process.
Sure.
But if you win a lotto today,
sure.
And how many people who won a lotto and now they are?
And they blew all that money. They are broke. They are back to zero.
And now we've got all the problems.
There was never hard work.
Exactly.
There was never, you
a
never
Learn.
sacrifice.
Yes, you never learn about who you are, and especially who you are. Because even when I move into this place where we are,
sure,
I was still challenged. Everywhere I go, I was still,
and
I
again,
was threatened. Exactly.
your skin,
the skin counts. You can say that maybe it was one of the things, but
sure,
I was also challenged into that. But now, where do you refer when you are challenged? You go back and be like, if I did that,
sure,
this one cannot break me.
Sure.
That is why I'm saying, let your struggle be the future's plan. If you are in your future, and then things are tough, think about what you did. But if you didn't do anything, if you didn't lay a foundation for yourself, where are you going to fall? There's no cushion to fall to. So let the struggle build you.
Sure.
Because later on, if I speak to you and said, what did you do? How did you get here? And you tell about your struggle, then we've got something to talk about.
Sure.
But if you're going to tell you, nothing wrong with it. My mother gave me this, my father gave, there's nothing wrong. But to me, it's like there's nothing to talk. But tell me your story. What is your story? Then we are talking.
Inspire another black child. And I'm not against the influencers, gents, and ladies out there. I'm not against those who are on TikTok, those who are on Instagram. But it's a trend now to kind of like post pictures of yourself naked, half naked, and all that. But you find someone maybe saying that with such pictures or with me mingling with such people I can make it and stuff like that. But in reality, there has to be a base. There has to be a foundation as to where you start. You can't just take pictures and then tomorrow you're thinking, I'm going to be this instant multimillionaire. Maybe it might happen, but like you're saying, if you fall, how do you rise? If you lose those millions, how do you rise? You understand? So this is the message, especially now that we are having a woman's edition. It's to inspire a woman this month. We want to inspire a young lady, you know, because social media can also be misleading to our kids. You understand? Our kids, when they watch all these videos, the TikToks and all that, then they think, life is just a TikTok. Life is just Instagram. And remember, social media will always show you what you want to see.
What you want to see.
You understand? It won't show you what you went through. Like now you said, Uti, you had to save, you had to... You failed, you understand? And I believe in all of that, there were sleepless nights. Sometimes you thought of giving up. Sometimes you thought of taking an easy route. But all that sacrifice today is paying off.
It's paying off.
We understand. You are the woman that you are, and we are celebrating you. It didn't happen overnight.
It didn't happen overnight.
It took you years to build this. And even the clientele, the people that are coming to your space, it's people that you had to build trust with them. You know, people that they also probably refer other high-profile people, because I know of another high-profile person that normally comes here, but we're not gonna disclose igama like, you know. So it's those high-profile people that also come, you know, to your space. But all of those things, they did not just come instantly, or they were not put in a microwave, and happen so easily. So now I want you to tell me, when do you come to Cape Town now? When do you arrive in Cape Town?
I arrived in Cape Town 1997.
Oh, 7, okay.
Actually, after I failed my first year of beauty technology.
In Natal College, okay.
I was so confused. I was like, now what? My life is
Western
bad.
Cape.
So my beautiful sister was like, "Iran straight pedicab."
Okay.
And I'm like,
sure.
So in 2 days, I was in a bus coming to Cape Town,
Sure.
not knowing what I'm going to do.
Wow.
My brother here, my brother who was studying a dental technician at that time,
Sure.
he actually enrolled me with something totally different, computer.
Oh.
And I'm like, yo, out of the frying pan into the fire.
Jeez, yo, something totally different.
Totally different.
Wow.
Do I have a choice? I don't have a choice. And then what happened at the end of the day? I failed it beautifully, flying colors, minus
You've
8.
been failing in your life, Moretlo.
Beautiful.
Wow.
I failed with distinction that day.
And you know what I like about you? You are very open about your failures. You don't hide it.
Actually,
you know?
not even a failure of life, a failure of being a school.
Sure.
That is a stepping stone to life. So you don't know how many times are you going to...
And someone fails once, maybe matric, or he fails a course and they think,
nah. One thing I can tell you, I love my life. I'm so grateful to my life. I thank God for my life because I'm a huge failure.
Wow.
But out of my failure, this is what came.
Wow.
And then
a beautiful child.
I'm not comparing myself with anyone.
Sure.
I'm not. Some people they can say use what clever visual. Now my strength
Sure.
made me who am I today. You understand? Wow. So my failure are my trophies. They are displayed.
And obviously they are the ones who are reminding you where you're from.
Where I'm from.
Yes.
But also they are my shield because when you tell me I'm a failure, I'm like. Tell me something that I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it already.
Sure. Those scars, you carry them until the last day here on earth.
Just to answer your question that you asked previously, I was so fortunate after I worked for few people in Claremont.
Oh, okay.
Actually for 2 bosses.
Okay.
In Claremont. I was so fortunate to meet up with one lady.
Okay.
And who was a hairdresser, and she gave me an opportunity to be with her.
Yeah.
After working with few people.
Okay.
And then I got even more exposed, which I was still exposed before. I got even more exposed to the clientele that I have.
Sure.
And by working with her, and she actually literally pushed me into this thing. She was like, I've got a space. Are you coming or not? And I'm like,
Yeah.
Give me 2 months. She was like, I don't have a 2 months. I don't have a 2 months. You must give it
Decide.
to me. I was like, okay, fine. You know, I still remember even the day I wanted to open because my previous boss, where I was working,
sure,
I worked as if it was my own business, you know, and when I left her, I was so exhausted that I thought, let me give myself a week before I started my own business, before I started working in my business.
Sure.
That week didn't finish. The clients were already calling.
It was too much.
Yeah, my place was not even finished. Yeah, and then I can tell you something. My business went well, beautifully well for 3 years, beautifully well. Like you know, when people say when you start a business it goes down. My business went beautifully well till after 3 years. Where life is a great teacher. Nothing can teach you. Life is a great teacher. When life said, I'm ready, let's start again. And then that starting again, it had to remove some things. You lose your car, you lose lose your flat, you lose.
My goodness.
And at the end of the 10 years, you of driving, you be like, oh, the train.
Now you're using a public transport.
Yeah, that train, they knew me very well. You know, when it's rain like this, it's like you get here, be like, okay, do I change the shoes or what?
Jeez.
Yeah, and then you were kind of like, you know. So life started, and then you realize that, shoo, what's going to happen now? And then you move out of the flat, you go and stay back to rest at the age of 34. You stay with students who are 16, you know, one room again.
Sure.
You start all over again. But you know what? One thing I knew.
Sure.
I knew that if I could do that 3 years, I can do 3 multiplied by 10.
Yes, exactly.
Because
sure.
I knew what I could do when I didn't have much.
Those failures. That was a preparation. Those failures.
And then also remember that 3 years of me being successful in my little business worked out for me because I knew who am I.
Yeah.
I knew who I was at that time because of what I did previously. And that I kept on holding on it even though life was tough.
Sure.
And then as time goes, it took me 10 years to rise.
Wow.
It took me 10 years to rise. I always tell, even my husband, I always say to him, babes, every person struggle. It looks like it's 10 years. So we call it 10 years.
Oh, okay.
It's a 10 years. Every person has its own 10 years.
Sure.
It's like everything has been, the carpet has been pulled under your feet. You've been like a strip naked. You've been like, you know. So throughout, God was like, now we need to start.
Sure.
And when God said, let's start.
That was a new chapter.
It was a most beautiful chapter ever of my life, and of discovering, of creating myself. Like, it was just the most beautiful time of my life.
Sure.
But it was difficult. And I could see myself again starting to be, you go into the soil.
Sure.
You don't get buried. There are two things. It's either you go into the soil to be buried or to be planted.
You become a seed.
Yeah, now
you don't die.
I didn't die.
Sure.
So the devil thought I was dead. I was not dead.
You're just growing gradually.
Then you started to see your beauty. Because I think if God could have left me in that 3 years, I could have been so arrogant. I know that. I could have been like, I know it all. But I started all over again, and I started, and I could see my beauty. And I guess what? God gave it even more better.
Wow.
He opened even more doors where I couldn't even qualify. I didn't qualify to be in this building. I can tell you so many things off camera, like I didn't qualify because of this. But because God, some of us like, how did I get here? Okay, it's fine, let's move on. I don't even want to know because hey, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And then you come here, and when you get here, it's still a struggle. Like the children of Israelite.
Sure.
They struggle. Even when they get to the promised
To
land,
the promised
they still fight with
they
the
were
lies.
still, there were still challenges
The
there.
Gentile, they're still fighting.
Sure.
And when you get here, you still fight. That's why I said you mustn't remember who you are. But to remember who you are is a foundation that you have to build deep in.
Yeah.
Because if you want to build a double story, 3-story, whatever, your foundation has to be deep in. And sometimes the foundation, it takes way longer and it becomes messy.
Wow.
It becomes messy. And when we are building the foundation, people can say,
because remember, we can't see the foundation. We just see when the product is finished.
Exactly. And you can't see the foundation because it's full of dust. There's so much, it's construction trucks and that you can't see. But it will depend. Your foundation determines how tall your building is going to be. You know. So when everything started to bubble, it's like, oh God, this is what he said, but this is what you put. You know what I mean?
The deeper the foundation, the taller the building.
The building.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. The story of Moretlo, like, it's a story of success. It's a story to a lady in Tanzania watching us, Kailisha. You know, it's a lady for you who are thinking of giving up. You know, she's been through a lot. You know, she's been through a lot. She's been a failure. She's been labeled as a failure, and she's not even scared to carry those scars, you know, of being a failure. I, for one, I understand what it means, you know, to fail, what it means to try different businesses and they don't succeed. As like she just told us, Uti, her and her husband have got that thing called the 10 years.
10 years.
The 10 years.
Your 10 years.
You know, your 10 years. So maybe your 10 years can be 10 years, or your 10 years can be 2 years. Your 10 years can be a year, you know. So yeah, it depends on you. So ladies out there, this is your special edition. We're talking to you. And obviously, Nan Majimbos and you guys, you know, get inspired by all these stories. Moretlo, where can people find you? Because our people, I believe, they would love also to come and support your business and all that. Where can they find you?
Okay, our business or our salon or our corner is in Montclair Place in Claremont, Cape Town. Sure. Corner of Main Road and Campground Road. We are right next to Virgin Active on the first floor, right next to Virgin Active.
Danko is thank you. Danko is thank you. Sis Moretlo, before I wrap it up, do you have any message for our beautiful ladies out there?
My message can be long, but now...
There is a camera there. Yeah.
Okay, my message can be very, very long. Yeah. Ladies, I always say, we are the woman who God chose. God put us on Proverbs 31 in the Bible. Yeah. We are the most beautiful and powerful human being ever. Sure. It depends on you how you use your strength. Sure. You can either tear or build. Sure. That's what the Bible is saying. And choose wisely, because whatever you choose is going to affect the next generation, because we are mothers, we are sisters, and we carry forth the seed going forward. So please, ladies, whatever you do, think about what you are putting now, if you will able to take it out. What they say, what you are depositing will you able to withdraw as time goes. So please, please trust in yourself. Whatever you do, go deep inside of you. Go deep inside of you, and that's where we'll find the real answer. And the answer that is very uncomfortable, most of the time it's a real answer. Stay beautiful as you are.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. No, thank you so much. As Moretlo, she just dropped gems, guys. I'm inspired. My crew is inspired. We are all inspired, guys. Thank you once again. We are celebrating Imbogoto. Wathinta abafazi, wathinta Imbogoto. Once again, guys, it was nice being with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share our videos as much as you can. It's English Broken Business. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Sharp.